Okay, so on the 27th of May, the new album will come out,
Yes.
Construct. And this sounds like a more melodic release this time. It's more experimental, actually. We go back to Projector sound-wise on this album. Do you actually feel the same about this release? How would you like to introduce it to the fans? What they can expect?
There are definitely similarities
Okay.
to that, and I think it's because of the way that it came about. Like, this was a reaction to what we've done in the last 5-6 years. We kind of felt like we had nowhere to go. Like, where do we go next? How do we take our sound forward? And we felt like there's no way to go forward. We have to do like a lateral move and kind of move to the side and discover something else with our sound and do something different. And that's exactly the feeling that we had when we wrote Projector, because we were getting tired of ourselves and feeling like we cannot go any further in this direction. We have to do something different in order to kind of feel, renewed and passionate again, and So I think the vibe was definitely similar to what happened back in '99. And it's more emotional album. I think it reflects what we've been doing like the last couple of years, how we felt and what has been going on emotionally and personally with us, in much the same way as Projector was, like a really good reflection of this really bad period in our lives,
Okay. Quindi a livello di vibra, a livello di sensazione, sì, lui dice che in un certo senso è molto vicino a quello che fu Projector, quindi del 1999, parecchio tempo fa, perché è un periodo in cui loro hanno un po' cercato una nuova strada. Sono 6 anni circa che stanno cercando la nuova direzione, di sperimentare un po', e si chiedevano loro stessi: ma che cosa potremmo fare di più per andare avanti, per fare dei passi avanti? In realtà non c'era da guardare troppo avanti, hanno guardato un pochino più indietro, e questo è un album senz'altro un po' più sentimentale, lo ha definito, quindi si rispecchia anche lui nella descrizione, che è un pochino più melodico. Esatto.
Allora andiamo al titolo, Construct, che c'è un significato particolare. Che tipo di significato si può attribuire alla scelta di questo titolo, di questo Construct?
Okay, so the title Construct doesn't come by accident, I guess. I mean, there's any meaning behind? Is there any story why you chose that title in particular?
Yeah, I guess for me, a construct is a creation of thought, like something that you make up, and that kind of becomes real. And perhaps not in a creative way, it's more like a defense mechanism where you realize that, holy fuck, I don't know why we're here. I don't know what the reason for being on this planet is. So you make up a reason, because you cannot fathom the enormity of what's going on. You make up something that makes you feel a little bit better. It makes you sleep at night. And it's the most human thing in the world to kind of see, to make up some kind of reason for that where there is no reason, and to see patterns where there are no patterns. And that frustrates me. I'm an atheist, and I'm a skeptic, and I want to kind of apply some kind of scientific method to things.
Okay.
And I don't believe in anything outside of what I can see and touch and feel. And so things that happen in the name of these imaginary things frustrate me to no end. And that's where it starts for me. Like, that's how I work up this anger and frustration, and it kind of somehow sharpens me and makes me want to write and scream, So that's the thought behind the title, and I think, and it also goes with many of the songs on the album. It's like it starts very critically, very skeptically, and there's a lot of frustration.
So you used to do these DJ sets once in a while.
Yeah,
You have fun doing that? And what kind of music actually do you play? Is the same music that you like to listen at home, or is different?
I go back and forth because I don't really know what people want me to play. Sure, I can play Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, like everybody wants to listen to, and then drinking beer, but
classics.
Then anyone can do that, so why am I there? So I try to figure that out. It's like, and basically, I mean, what I love is playing music and introducing music to people. I love, like, hey, check this out, listen to this is awesome, like, have you heard this? Really? Come on, here we go. So and give away CDs and send like Spotify playlists to my friends and make mixtapes back in the day. Like, I love that, and discovering new music. So, and combining that with beer drinking, hey, it's awesome.
That's
you know,
perfect.
so I love that. But sometimes people go like, come on, play the standard stuff and request. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. So
Okay.
I think no requests tonight. I'm just going to play awesome music that I love, and I think people would appreciate. You know?
And will be new music.
New and
Let's see.
old, we'll see. You know, try to kind of
So
figure
you
out what's
produced the
going
record,
on.
but
Yeah.
for the mix of the album, you changed this time from 2 to gems.
Yes.
Okay, why this choice? I mean, you were looking sound-wise for. I mean, there's a reason, I guess, for this choice.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like the reason we chose 2 in the first place was because I heard his work on The Haunted, you know, and some other friends' bands, and I was like, holy shit, I love this kind of. He gets it. Like he comes from like a thrash background, and he gets the sound that you want from like a fast thrashing metal album, you know, and he totally gets that, and that's what we wanted, and he did a fantastic job. And then when we realized that this album's going to be different, you know, this is not going to be that fast thrashing album, you know, then we figured like, oh, who could do that? And Jens has always been in the back of our minds, you know. I've always been a big fan of his work, like since I heard like his first work with Opeth and Symphony X and Paradise Lost and Leprous and Isan and bands like that, and he has this kind of audiophile approach to it, so that, you know, the better equipment you play it through, the better it sounds. Like not with normal productions, you know. And it's so like high quality stuff, and he's such a geek, you know, and I am that too, you know, so I love that aspect of it. And he always talked about it. It's like, when do I get to mix you guys? Come on, like bring it. And now finally we did it, and I think it's the best sounding album we've ever done. Like awesome. Just turn it up, buy new speakers, buy new headphones. You're gonna love it.
Okay, so talking about State of Trust, which is a very particular song, the clean vocals are back. Like definitely back. Let's say. Okay, so it has like a gothic flavor. This song, which was the inspiration for this one? Is there any particular story behind it?
It's most of it's written by Martin Brännström, who's our keyboard player, who, like, he comes from a different background. He doesn't have the death metal, thrash metal, you know, background. So when he writes something, he writes it out of like, you know, I want it to be heavy, or I want it to be fucking melodic, but not in the same way that we think, you know. And that's always interesting. That dynamic really is interesting when we're in the studio. So we had this song, and it just made it heavier and heavier. And then I was like, but the verses are so cool and kind of evocative and nice, and I think like it requires something different, like, you know. So we do like a clean verse, and then we do this heavy fucking chorus, like, and it was like, yeah, let's try that. And then we had this big kind of middle section that we had no idea what to do with, like, and Martin really wanted it to be kind of so mellow and instrumental, and I was like, yeah, but there's a beat to this song, you know, there's a pulse to it that is kind of so cool, and we don't want to break that. It has to matter. Like, why should we kind of break that pulse without coming up with something that replaces it in a good way, you know? And that was like a big issue in the studio for weeks, you know, like, how do we come up with something that makes sense in this song? Because we loved every aspect of it except for this middle part. It's like, wow, what do we do? And then Martin like, how about we just do like a piano, keyboard, vocal thing? I'm like, sure, you know, let's try that, you know, and it became actually really, really cool. And I'm so happy that we kind of dared to do it, and it's like one of those things. Like, Martin just wrote this keyboard part, and I was like, okay, I have some lyrics here. Let's try it out, see what we can do, and it came out really well. And it's the most non-metal thing we've ever done.
Okay, so this guy Christian from Milano, he says that he loves you very much, and especially he likes the gallery, which is he considers a masterpiece. And so he's asking with what kind of emotions and chills and feelings this record gives to you when you listen back to it. He says it's very progressive album. So
yeah, I guess it is. And for us, you know, we were young, you know, and our first album was, you know, I played guitar on the first album. I was a horrible guitar player. So when we got a new guitar player and I started singing, finally we realized, hey, we can be a band, you know, and we can actually play. And over the years we had learned stuff, you know, and then we really got into progressive rock and progressive metal bands and stuff like that, and got a huge influence by that. It's like, yeah, and we can actually pull this off. Wow, this is cool. I mean, at that age, I guess we were like 21 or something like that. You know, you're you know, you don't have any boundaries. You can do whatever you want. You feel like you're top of the world. You're, you know, whatever. So we went all out and just, fuck, we can do anything. Fine, you know. And so like Rush and bands like Dream Theater and bands like that kind of inspired us to, hey, we can go all this progressive stuff and it's fine. We can incorporate it into our music. It's cool, and I think, of course, it's special to me because it was the first that I sang on. It's the first that kind of got people's attention, the first one that got out and got proper distribution, and the first one to kind of sell pretty well. And this is the first album that we toured for, and the first time we got to Italy, stuff like that. So there's all these different,
a lot of first things,
aspects of it that made it so special. So I still still do Punishment Heaven pretty much every show, and I still love it. I still kind of think back to those days when we figured like we are the best band in the world. We can do anything, you know. You
sing both, you know, both ways, the growl and the clean voice. Your clean voice is very particular, is very emotional. Did you ever think of doing any kind of side project, maybe, you know, just with the clean voice and you know, this something different maybe than Dark Tranquillity? Did you ever think about it?
I definitely have thought about it, but it was years ago, and I don't think like I like the fact that we could mix it and we could do whatever we want. When it comes to like clean vocals, I don't want to do it the way that so many bands are doing it. And like, it was interesting for me to do it when we did it on Skydance, you know, in '93, and a little bit on Projector. That was interesting to me still. You know, I was like, wow, nobody's doing this. This is cool and original. Now it's not original anymore. So now I have to really find a really good reason to do it, not just because I enjoy it. I want it to be perfect for that song. You know, it has to be particular for that song. So sure, I would like to do something else and just do totally different. But at the same time, I like the fact that we can do whatever we want in the band. So perhaps next album is going to be like a totally clean album. Who knows? Just if that's what we feel like, that's what's going to happen. But I guess I'm so comfortable screaming, and I love that so much that, and I don't feel that confident singing, you know. And I think that's what keeps me from doing it. Italy loves you very much, and all the fans are writing, you know, that the new songs are very cool. They're enjoying their new record. So when you're coming to play to Italy, because it's a very special place for you as well, you recorded a DVD at the Rolling Stone Club in Milan, 2008. So. I mean, when we can have you back? We are planning right now to, like, we're going to do festivals for the summer, then we go to America for some time, and then we're coming back and do a proper big, long European tour in November, like beginning of November. So sometime around then, like in between 1st of November and last December, we're going to be here. I'm not sure, but we're bringing some really cool bands. We're going to announce it very soon. It's going to be awesome, and we cannot wait to kind of bring the new material out there and some new old songs there as well. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
Allora, sarà un po' un regalo di Natale, diciamo, Christmas present. You're coming.
Christmas comes early.
So
you can talk about these songs and the video.
Yeah, holy shit! This is exciting. I mean, this is one of the most different songs on the album, I think. And especially like talking to people who heard it, like this is the most kind of that resembles something that we did on Projector, something like that. It has a lot of clean vocals, stuff like that, and it's very different. It's very dark, a very moody song. And when we talked about doing a video, it was like, what song should it be? Should we have like a short radio, TV friendly song, or should we do something different? And this is a 5.5 minute song with a drum solo, so and a huge instrumental part. And we were like, fuck it, let's do it. This is fun. We love the song. It came out really well, and just, you know, dig it. This is the first time you're ever gonna hear it and see it. I'm very excited. I can't wait to hear people's impressions. So please post on Facebook and YouTube and whatnot. What do you think of it? And enjoy.
Thank you very much, Mikael. Good evening and good work after.
Thanks for having me. This was awesome, and thank you for listening and watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And this is really cool. And for the locals here, see you tonight at the Wizard.
Okay.